Hit pretzel. Yeah, now you can use Atom Rage. Nice. There's a slime for everything. Okay, so where we left off in the morning was I had coded this, but I coded it in kind of a dumb way. I also did something else in the middle of this. Yeah, this is fix an unrelated bug. Fix bug with adventurer description. I was rendering a function, not the return value of the function. Codex DG pointed this out. Yeah. Okay. Hey, MRW. Yeah, I'm gonna put a segmenting thing in the channel description so that there's an advertised rule about it. I don't think it'll change anything, just to be clear. Nothing whatsoever. Because I don't think people would read. You know, when you click a Twitch chat for the first time, it can pop up an intro, a rule set, or whatever. I ignore those completely. And I used to have one that just said type FAQ if you need to ask questions, and it probably helped. It was just like 2 words, type FAQ, I think. But yeah, I don't think putting it in the channel description is going to really matter. All right, so this being in here, I don't like. We need some way of... We need something that stores this and then something that fetches it from Steam. We can make like a Steam stats. It could be in the achievement system, actually, now that I think about it. Yeah, we could just put it there. Let's move it there for now, because I think it belongs there. It's related to achievements. Achievement system. 5 stream streak. Ooh. Alright, so this will be private, I guess? I don't know. I don't know how I want to do this yet. Then where we fetched it, we don't care about that. We do one of those. Okay, so we get the stat. What does this do if Steam's not running? I want to test that. Test what happens if Steam isn't running. Will get stat int fail? Yeah. I think it's nice that they have some grace period for you to be able to watch a VOD or something, or a clip. What all they really care about is that you're coming back to Twitch every day and that you've built a habit out of it. So there should be a grace period for that sort of thing. All right, so then somewhere in Harvestable, I guess, when you click this, it would try adding this here. I don't necessarily want this to know about the achievement system, and it's currently private. Yeah. All right, so Harvestable, harvest the apple, and achievement system needs to handle setting stats. So option 1 is make achievement system public and tie Harvestable to it. And option 2 is make a signal. I think make a signal is the way to go then. I've watched 5 streams in a row. Yeah. It's also pretty uncommon, I would say, for Twitch streamers to stream multiple times in a day. I would guess that the majority of people stream once per day at most. And remember, we're talking about like a multi-million number of streamers, probably. So yeah, I think the odds that they like, oh, I'll stream in the morning and the afternoon is just so unlikely. All right, so now where do I want this event to be? Clicked an apple. We need to invoke this from somewhere. Honestly, this should probably just be a function. And harvestable shouldn't be the thing to do it necessarily. I'm torn. I could see it working either way. Yeah. I'll make a function for this. Put a BRB screen for like 30 minutes. Yeah, yeah. All right, so now we do this here. Town.invoked, and then move all this stuff to the achievement system, where we will connect this. Oh yeah, I guess this could be over here. Clicked an apple. On clicked an apple. On clicked an apple. We should probably get what the stat name is in here somewhere. So this goes like so. And there we have it. Now we just extract out this private const string apples clicked stat name. Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good. This number 25 we might be able to pull from Steam somehow. I don't really care about that right now. Hey, thank you, Athletics. Is work actually relentless? Because I'm sorry to hear that. I feel like this time of December, it should be pretty easy for most people. I am kind of curious of whether we can fetch this. I don't think I want to do it. Where's the page on this? I don't know. Let's just go to this. Steam, Godot, here. Normally would be, but yeah, it's been crazy the last month. Is there an end in sight? Where are achievements? They call them user stats, I think. Get achievement. What does this do? Returns a dictionary. No, this is not it. Get achievement achieved %. Get achievement and unlock time. Progress limit. Use this to query what the bounds of that progress are. You may want this info to selectively call indicate achievement progress. Yeah, so this is technically what we should do here. Every time you pick an apple, we would check this. Does this make a network call out to Steam? I doubt it would. So this would be Godot steam.steam.get achievement. Get achievement progress limits int for apples clicked. And what does this return? A dictionary? I guess it's annoying to do this, huh? Target num apples. Also, I guess we can check greater than or equal to. Oh, no, it would only be equal to. Because you only click one at a time. And if it's greater than, then you won't try to grant the achievement right away. Okay. No idea. Man, that's too bad. I hope it eases up. Do you have a light bulb moment at 3:46 a.m. and manage to do loads of work because of the realization? Morning title. The okay for real. We're going to achieve stuff. It was just a reference to still needing to work on achievements, if that's what you're talking about. Int target num apples equals this. This is going to be a dictionary. So now we need to do like try get value. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like this at all. And it's got the max in there. And I'm going to put this here as int. Variant does not contain a definition for as int. Does it say as int 32 or 64? I don't know how many bytes they use for that. Oh, it says right there, 32. Okay. So if this doesn't exist, we're going to throw an exception here. So I guess let's put it inside of one of these. There. Okay. Oh, of course. Now, there are other places where we've done this, even inside this achievement system thing, where I just have hard-coded numbers. I don't know how we do anything about that. Oh, we wouldn't, because there's no stat in the Steam backend for this. Although this one I probably did kind of stupidly. Maybe I should have tracked this. I don't know. Did you add the stat on Steam? Yeah, I did. I just needed to do it for the full version of the game. All right, so we should go test this because I think this is the proper code we want for this. Let me just look at it again. Yeah, I want to change the spawn time. That we can ignore for now. But the rest of this should be valid code. Yeah, so let's go try it out. We're going to just try it from scratch. So we're going to start from nothing. And we're going to click maybe 5 apples and then stop and then restart. And that'll also test whether it's saved our progress. So if we were to look at our progress right now, it should say 0 out of 25. It's kind of glitched right now. I don't know what's going on with that. Let's click away from it and click back in. Was it successful? It was successful. That's strange. This shouldn't be lit up. And this has nothing to do with my code right now either. It just has to do with reset not actually taking place. Let's just reset it again. I don't know. There. Yeah, there. That fixed it. All right, so now we have 0 out of 25. You see it right there. We're going to go get 5. Then we're going to quit the game, come back in. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we just quit. And this thing should know we have 5 out of 25 now. It should update. I'm pretty sure it should. I didn't call store stats specifically, but I think it does it when you quit. Maybe there's something else I need to do to like wind this thing down. Huh. Huh, indeed. Maybe this is failing. Let's just put a breakpoint there. Yeah, maybe it's not even setting the stat. It's possible we couldn't get max out of it for some reason. So I click this, it breaks in. I call this. This should work. Local parameter name max variant cannot be declared because its name is already an enclosing one. Yeah, this is failing. That's strange. What is this dictionary? Count 0? What? Achievement? Oh my god, it's got to be the achievement? All right, I didn't realize that. I thought it was the stat. That's... I guess the stat just counts upward. Yeah, okay. All right. I messed that up. That was silly. But this should be is the name of the Steam achievement. How do we get that? Here it is, Steam achievement ID. That's what I need. And that goes here. And then this is achievement ID dot click apples. We only technically need to get this once. Private int num apples needed equals -1. Well, we know it's not going to be 0. I guess we just started at 0. So here what we can do is we can say if this is equal to 0, then try to fetch it. Fetch num apples needed. I'm going to copy paste this into here. Private int fetch num apples needed. And we return that. Return as int32. Otherwise return 0. And then over here we have that. Okay, so now we don't need this anymore. And we can set the stat and check that here. All right. Nice. So now we only tried doing the fetching once. I don't think that really matters. All right, but now I think our code should work. So let's go try that. I'm going to just click 2 apples this time, so I don't need to wait forever. 1, 2. Okay, now we quit. We should see that progress get reflected in our achievements. It only says 1 out of 25. Wonder where I messed up. Number of apples, click plus plus. If number of apples needed is 0. Oh, I see. Yeah, whoops. And we do this, and yeah. I just shouldn't have had that inside the if statement. I'm glad we tested with 2 and not 1. Although I am going to try to make sure this works end to end. So now it should know that we already have 1, so that when I click the second one, our progress goes up to 2. So I will click 3 this time. 1, 2, 3. So now our progress should be at 4, because 1 plus 3 is 4. Come on. Good. Okay, cool. Now I'll go click 21 of them, and it should just give us the achievement. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20. Okay, so the next one should give me the achievement. Perfect. And if I click one more, it's not going to show 26 out of 25, right? No, it just says you've unlocked this. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's all we have to do. So right in the README about the stat, I got to go do that. Achievement README. And stats connected to achievements. Click apples should be backed by num apples clicked. Max equals 25. Okay, let me go do that on the other app so I don't forget. Oh, I didn't even add the stat, did I? I did not. Okay, then we got to go add this. All right, int name is this. Max change NA, min value 0. Default value 0. Display name apples clicked. Save. Hey, Hideo. I'm about to work on the translation stuff pretty soon. I just haven't started that yet. And then in achievements. And yeah, unfortunately, I got to do what I'm doing right now off screen. Because it's Valve confidential. But it'll be done pretty shortly. So we set the max to 25 and then click save. And then publish these changes. Are apples doing okay? Apples are now doing okay. You know, I was thinking about you a lot when it came to Breath of the Wild. I wonder if you ever finished the game. Did you try Tears of the Kingdom at all? Did you like either game? Because all you ever did was collect apples in the first game. All right, neat. So I think we're done with this. Test what happens if Steam isn't running. Oh yeah, let's try that one now. So I'm going to clear out this thing. Yeah, this is the one thing I have not tested yet. So now we should not have any achievements. Good. So this is at 0 out of 25. I'm going to quit this. So now Steam is not running. And we're going to go click an apple and see what happens. Only a few hours so far. You did. Wow. Do you like it? Oh, right. I remember you trying the second one because you complained about all the yellow in the beginning. That's right. Yeah, I think a lot of people that I know, at least, and when I say a lot, I mean probably like 5, which is a decent amount of people who played Breath of the Wild and seemingly liked it and then played Tears of the Kingdom. They kind of burned out on it. And I think I get why. It's not like new enough and it feels sort of like a checklist for a lot of things that you do. I still think it's fun. Oh, what is that? None of this is good. Time should be greater than 0. User stats class not found. So yeah, get stat int just fails. But when we click an apple, it still gives us a gold. Yeah. All right, so all of this is a problem though. Time should be greater than 0. Should be greater. Oh, what am I searching for? Set wait time. That's in achievement system. Get stat int. So we wouldn't even try to do this, right? I wonder if there's an event for when Steam turns on. Otherwise, I probably shouldn't initialize the achievement system at all. Yeah, I see Hideo. Yeah. I've been playing Kirby Air Riders, which is on the Switch too, not the Switch 1. but that's been fun. But that's really the only game I've been playing on the Switch or the Switch 2 for a while that I've had fun with. I mean, I played Breath of the Wild again for a little bit, but I don't really think that counts. I enjoy that game, but I've already played it a lot. And I played Donkey Kong Bonanza, but it just didn't really grip me. So how many of these things do we want to avoid? Like, how big of a deal? How many people will start the game outside of Steam and then launch Steam? I just don't think this is common enough to care about. So I think we just stop it from happening. Like, if Steam isn't running, we just return. Steam Godot.steam.is Steam running. What's the name of this function? I have it over here somewhere. Is Steam running? Yeah, why am I not finding that then? Oh, because it's called Godot Steam. There we go. All right, so if Steam is not running, and we don't care if Steam isn't running, even if it eventually... Since it's unlikely that it would eventually run again after you've started the game. Can you even do that? Yeah, it should start Steam automatically, and then Steam should be kind of tied to the running of the game. So if you close Steam, I think it'll close the game. But what you could do is you could download this through itch. So it's just a standalone executable. So now you launch skeleseller.exe, and then later you start Steam. You will get Steam. Wait, no, you wouldn't, because you wouldn't have the game. Okay, so you need to buy it. Okay, well, anyway, this scenario could still exist. You could buy it on itch and buy it on Steam, and then launch it through itch, and then launch Steam afterward. But I don't care. That's a scenario that just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So we're just going to stop it from happening with this right here. And that'll cut out most of these problems, I think, but not all of them, because when we say mark achieved and store stats, mark achieved on Steam, I think the issue we're going to have here is we need to check if Steam is running. So if not Steam is running, return false. Or the demo. Why don't we do the demo thing? I guess that can't really happen. Yeah, I should probably just have some like is disabled here. Achievement system. Private bool is enabled. Actually, yeah, it could be a property. And then I could put this comment up there and just check if not is enabled. And same thing in mark on Steam. If not is enabled. Why is that failing now? Why is that red? Oh, because it's static. Oh, drat. Then this can be static too, actually. Because technically it's not querying any state in here. All right. Now we need a comment for this. There are no achievements in the demo, blah, blah, blah. I don't care if Steam isn't running, as long as it would eventually run. I'll italicize this. Who handles retries? So kind of a combination. There's Steam will locally save something, and then it'll try contacting the backend on its own. But then I need to handle some retries, but like very few. You do need network to get an achievement, but Steam will wait until there's network again. So it'll save something locally for that. Hey, Mysterious. Oh, I remember now. My apples are in the title. That's why people are mentioning it. I thought they were just reading what's happening on the screen. I just title my stream stupidly now. All right, so now I think we've avoided, hopefully, all of the red text we would have seen from errors. I'm not positive about that, so let's just try it out. I can't check in Steam right now, but I should not have had any achievements there anyway. I guess you could cut out the Steam handler from itch build if you only do checks in one place. I could. I just don't think it's even worth doing that. Like, we are going to ship Godot Steam even with itch. And yeah, I guess you could technically cut this out, but I just don't see much of a need to. Hey, Codex. Thanks for reporting that bug on Discord. I looked at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, I've already fixed this. I had typed this out and I'm like, I just haven't pushed yet. I'm like, let me go verify, though. I had not fixed it. So I did fix it now. All right, so what we're doing, we're just clicking anything and just seeing if there are any errors here. There shouldn't be. That should not be happening. It says time should be greater than 0. I assume this is happening from the achievement system. We don't actually start the timer, though. We only do it here, which should never be possible, and then here, which apparently will be possible. Oh, store stats. Wait, needs to store stats would need to be set to true. That can only be true if... Oh, that's not good. Yeah, that's not... This isn't supposed to be here, I think. I think that's wrong. Oh, yeah. Codex, even if... Yeah, I really appreciate those things, too, because it might be a while before I get back to challenge mode. Ideally, when I would get back, hopefully I would have found that, but who knows if I would have. Maybe I would have just ignored it or not hired an adventurer or something. Oh, Hideo, thanks for the bits. It's a lot of bits. Thanks, Twitch. Hey, you got a new badge now. It's a lot of bling next to your name. All right, I think we get rid of this. I think then we're fine because here we check. Yeah. All right, I think we're good. So now I'm hoping we don't see those errors about timers. It's still saying that. The problem is I don't know where this is coming from. We're not even starting a timer in here anymore, right? And this only happens if Steam is not running. So it's got to be probably for one of these two things. I mean, how about this? Let's just comment both of these things out. I doubt it's coming from there. They give them for free? Who wouldn't take them? They give them for free? You're still getting free bits? Because I was going to say, back in the ads for bits days, I got a lot of free bits. But the only other way of getting free bits was those Twitch surveys, and I haven't gotten one of those in a long time. Hey, Roberto. Are you coding in C# and Godot? Yes, I am. Welcome to the stream. And hey, Charlie. Sorry, I've had YouTube chat kind of like invisible for a lot of my time streaming today because I have a bunch of Steam achievement stuff on my left monitor. This came from a vibe code bro stream, and as a professional coder, vibe coding seems weird. I think vibe coding is actually kind of nice if you're doing something like some one-off tool that you want to write. And I don't exactly know how people define vibe coding, but like the other day, yesterday, I was using image magic and I don't feel like figuring out all the arguments or the paradigms of this thing working. So I just asked ChatGPT, I'm like, hey, how do I resize the image to do X and then, I don't know, and then Y or something like that. And it's like, oh, here's the command. And I ran it and it was totally good. And I think I've got that open somewhere still here. Yeah, these. Well, here's some of them. But then I also ran some other things. I guess I don't have it open anymore. But yeah, that's how I made those new emotes on Twitch that I have, the ones in the today command. And like, yeah, it just saved me from having to learn something. When everyone's like, fine, use GPT for that. Yeah. Especially FFmpeg. Man, if I ever have to use that again for something, I'm definitely asking AI. Pick random answers once a week and always mention that my Twitch ad blocker is still working perfectly. Wait a second. That means if you're still getting surveys and they're giving you that many bits, then that means I could probably get those surveys too. I'm going to look into that. See if I'm set up to get Twitch surveys still. Hideo is still getting bits. I'm assuming the kappa is just about the answering part, right? You are still getting bits. Hey, I read Dev. Just tuned into the same topic I've been thinking of the past few days. Achievements or like vibe coding with tooling? What software are you using to make your games graphics, music, and sound effects? So the answer to all those things, graphics, I don't do any art. But I use Affinity to modify some stuff every once in a while. But in general, it's Quickie Joe doing the artwork, and I think he uses Photoshop. Music, I use FL Studio. And the sounds, I got an asset pack. But for any touch-ups I do, I use Audacity. Oh, vibe coding. Yeah. Decided to do a plugin to improve my workflow with batch rendering in Blender. Yeah. Yeah. I think it can be nice for, like I said, those one-off things. If you plan on maintaining a tool for a long time, it's probably not so great to just maintain it with AI. But yeah, if you have some one-off, like, oh, take an image, do this to it, do the other thing to it, put it into a video file or something, like write the shell script to do all that stuff. It's like, yeah, seems pretty good. I didn't feel to learn how to use the whole library for just one tool. Yeah, yeah. And it's like, oh, if you use another 2-3 times, yeah, maybe it's worth learning. Like this program I just mentioned, Affinity. I was using GIMP before this, and now even seemingly basic tasks are alien to me. Like earlier today, I learned how to draw pixels on the. What in the world? Why is it trying to record the audio? All right, I don't know what that was about. Yeah, anyway, I learned how to just draw pixels, and I couldn't even do that earlier. So like I'm slowly learning this tooling because I'm going to be investing in this program a little bit, just time-wise. So it's like, okay, it's worth learning. But otherwise, I don't think it's worth it. Yeah, I don't know how that popped up. And here's a nice command for that. Have you tried Aspray? No, I haven't. Affinity's free, and I don't need to draw sprites usually. I just need to do something like, okay, take this and flip it horizontally or something. That's the level of sprite work I typically have to do. I'm sure Asprite can do that stuff too really well, but I just don't think it's worth getting a special program if I'm not really making the sprites myself. It's also free. You just need to build from source. Oh, I didn't realize. And it might actually be worth me getting. I wonder how hard it is to set it up on Mac. Because I assume it works on Mac. Where do they say what platforms it's on? I mean, there's a Git thing now. Oh, there's a download page. Windows, Mac, Ubuntu, and a Steam key. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I didn't know that. Do they have like building instructions? Well, anyway, I'll just use Affinity until it turns out to be a problem, I think. Maybe it was the email saying you had to transfer your account to the new website at some point, and since then you don't get their emails. Or maybe I just stopped it for some reason. I don't remember. I think that every once in a while there was a survey that did not give you bits. All right, well, anyway, we've got this running now, and it looks like just starting the game causes this to happen. I'm going to do this one more time just to make absolutely certain because I keep losing my train of thought. I'm not blaming that on chat or anything. I'm splitting my focus a lot. But if I click this and then this, yeah, this is still happening. I don't know why that's happening. Time should be greater than 0. I'm guessing we're starting a timer somewhere and it's not greater, but I don't know why. And like this doesn't happen if Steam is launched already. Let me launch Steam and just put it on the other monitor. I think it's happening because the time is lower than 0. Could be equal to 0. Could be a timer node with wait time set to 0 by accident. Yeah, it's probably something like that. I'm just not sure where it's coming from. And I think when we launch through Steam or with Steam open, it doesn't cause that to happen. No, it does still happen. Oh, well then, I'm wrong about that. Since when is it free? I think it's pretty recent. So this is a Godot thing coming from what? Yeah, main timer. Okay, so Godot time should be greater than 0. Wait, time of timer at runtime shows error. I'm not even changing timers though, am I? Like, where is this happening? Is there some way to figure out where this is coming from? I'd love a stack trace on Godot errors. Godot errors stack trace. Is there a way to get that? I should probably just Google this first. Godot errors stack trace. Someone explain how to get the stack trace. This is something that actually has a stack trace. I wonder if I just launched it through Godot if it would have happened through that. You have to see it as you're not going to pay the V3 but still get it. Wait, don't they still have some paid thing? I thought they went to the freemium model. Oh, there we go. Nice. Okay. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so I can just find out what's going wrong here. Where is this coming? Oh, harvestable, really? Oh my God. Oh, whoops. Okay, yeah. Oh, this is just debug code. I just set the spawn time to 0 just because I was being lazy. If I just set this to 1, it never would have happened. And that's why it happened somewhere between 0 and 6 times when you start the game, because we have 3 apples and 3 mushrooms. And there's just a 50% chance each time. So the time we saw it happen 6 times, it was a 1 out of 64 chance. Well, now we know. So now it's fixed. I thought it was related to Steam, and it was related to me making this change for Steam. So in a sense, it kind of was, but it didn't have to do with Steam being open. Okay, so now let's close Steam, because that was the point of this. Let's close it and just make sure there are no errors when you just play the game normally. So get rid of that, get rid of that. It's all extra, I see. How do you make the cursor into a skeleton hand? There's some thing for controlling cursors. Where is it? Yeah, here. It's just a really simple Godot API. So you load a cursor, just take a ping or an image or anything, and then just call input.set custom mouse cursor, and that's it. Why does it get so cryptic at times? Well, okay, that error message is very clear what it is. A timer has a time of 0, and that I understood. But where it was coming from doesn't show in VS Code. But it does show in Godot at least. So yeah, I just needed to run from Godot. And then it's clear even where it's happening in the code. So I don't really blame that on Godot. Although I'm not totally sure why you don't get that information when you're in VS Code, or how you would get that information. All right, so now we're looking at this. Excuse me. Yeah, so it failed to initialize, blah, 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 don't care. And anytime we do anything, like if we click this, nothing bad should happen. Yeah, perfect. All right, hang on. Hang on while I cough my lungs out. Okay. Oh. I don't know what's going on. I don't feel sick, but I do feel the need to cough a lot. All right, let's go review this. So just set this back to what it was. We tested everything. We have is apple and the apple thing. Good, 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 good. Good. Yep, that's fine. We could just not make an achievement system if achievements aren't going to be enabled. But we might want to turn it on again in the future. But yeah, this is looking pretty nice. Oh, and did I publish the... Hang on a second. Yeah, I did. Okay, so add final achievement for now. This is the one about clicking apples. It's backed by a stat on Steam, meaning once the stat hits 25, you automatically get the achievement. Codex. Oh man, I am so excited to work on the end cutscene, but we have to do some very boring work before that. So finish achievements. This stuff is all finished. Good. I'm going to just put this in the archive over there. Is there anything remaining with this work, at least that I can do on stream? Because I think we need to get to translation stuff. So what else is on this list? Code the achievements, that's done. Write a note to add achievements to the full version of the game. That's technically done. But yeah, I should probably just file an issue really fast. Make sure the full game's achievements match the playtest. It should be as easy as going on Steam and diffing, what's it called? MISC view raw settings. MISC view raw settings. Stats? Yeah, stats. If they're not the same, make them the same. Yeah. Let me just make sure I got that right. Okay. Yeah, that's it. And I'll just write this for pre-launch. Never agree with anyone on the pronunciation of Godot. How do you pronounce it? Isn't Godot just the only way to say it? Or is it game engine? Godot or Godot? Okay. Go dot. It's go dot. God ode. God ode. I should start saying it that way. Hey, I'm using God Oat engine. Hey Goose. Every once in a while I come across a technology where they say this is how we intend for it to be pronounced. I doubt Godot does that, but let's see if they have a page for that. I'm looking for an official thing. I see a bunch of like Steam pages and everything, but I want to see, do they have it in their documentation? Oh, pronounce it however you like. Press. And it's usually pronounced like in the play. Different languages have different pronunciations, and we find it beautiful. I think we should add a PR for this page. It's just this, no explanation. Just add that text right here. God out. All right, anything else we do? We do use this stuff for off stream, add achievements. I did that already. Test what happens when you have this stuff. I think this is probably fine. And then test pacing of achievements. This can still happen. We did this. Look into this issue. Oh yeah, okay. All right, so I'll write to wrap this up some other time. I don't want to do that now though. Finish the achievement to-do list. Makes more sense there. Yeah, but you're wrong. And as long as you know that you're wrong, that's totally fine. They find it beautiful. How you pronounce it. Your incorrect way. All right, so Hideo feedback. I looked through this off stream, Hideo, but I'll ask you just in case. Are you okay with me showing it on stream? This is all the stuff you typed over Discord. Really mad? Well, now you can type Adam Rage. Look at that garbage slime. Yeah, I don't care. Whatever you want. Yeah, I figured. Yeah, and you already censored yourself in this, which is good. All right, so load up Hideo's feedback. QL Markdown. I don't want to allow that. All right, so Hideo has been working. This is context for everybody else. Hideo has been working on the French translation for Skeleseller. He's about halfway through. And in doing so, he's found a bunch of strings that pretty much won't work when they're translated. So as a really simple example, something common that I had was something like, you have unlocked the, and then I put a location name. And in English, this would be like volcano or forest or canyon. But in French, you can't necessarily just have one article for all of these. Like you can't just say le or la. You potentially have to swap in between them. So we have to make changes in a lot of places. That's the short story. Can you spend a few words on your planning strategy? I've seen you use to-do files and issues on GitHub. Yeah, in general, I think that to-do is just like a dumping ground. And I don't like having everything just be on the to-do list, because you lose things like times, history, other people being able to comment, screenshots, screenshots can still be there, but like linking to other issues and then linking to code. So since you don't get a lot of this stuff on the to-do list, I like to put it into GitHub issues sometimes. And also that way too, I could like assign it to other people working on Skeleseller if I wanted to. Hey, paper. But in general, I think the most important thing is just you are tracking something somewhere. It can be on a post-it note on your computer, on your monitor if you want. As long as it's something, like you just need to not be able to forget something. You know, imagine you had a critical bug where it's like X crashes the game. Wherever you write it, that's fine, but like you got to eventually fix that crash. So yeah, I say that because I don't think this is the best way of doing things. I don't think always using GitHub issues is the best way of doing things. I don't think always using Obsidian is the best way of doing things. I think it depends on the task. And I don't even necessarily choose the optimal thing for the task. I just want to have it somewhere. That's typically it. Okay, so defeat the whatever to be able to do repeatable battles at the whatever. Yeah, so this is, Hideo said I should probably just manifest all of these individually, which is rather unfortunate, but What are you going to do? All right. So we would need a bunch of different strings. Do we have strings for these? Tip, battle. We could put it in battle. But it's, I think instance is probably better. Yeah, I think this is probably better. All right, so let's put it in here. Public static string. What are we going to call this? Oh, or you know what else we could do? We could change this for everything and make it just one string. And just get rid of the parameters. We could just say defeat the elite here to be able to do repeatable battles. Yeah, that's probably best. All right, let's see what that would look like. First of all, let's see what this looks like now. So I'll go load up the game. And we'll just take a screenshot of it. And I think all we do is start a new game and then unlock the canyon and then hover over the location. So yeah, here it says beat once to reveal rewards. That's fine. So we beat that. Then we go up to here. And now it says... Yeah, and that text just at the bottom. So let's take a picture of that. It's this. And we'll put that in affinity so I don't lose it. So defeat the ogre to be able to do repeatable battles at the canyon. I think the best thing we can do here is just defeat the elite monster to be able to do repeatable battles here. And then delete this and this. Oh, which maybe means we don't even use monster name anymore ever in the code. Get monster name. Do we ever do this? Tip strings. These are all going to change. Yeah, I think we delete it all. That's a shame. Oh, no, wait. We use it here? What is this? Selected instance. Do we show it in the... Huh. Where do we show that? Elite name label. Oh, at the bottom right there. There it is. It says ogre on the button. Yeah, that's fine. Andre, thanks for the resub. Happy 45 months. What's annoying with this one is a dual article. Yeah, and now we're going to... I think this is pretty reasonable. I don't think this is confusing at all. So now I want to go take a look at what this is. This is no longer used. Yeah, this simplifies everything. Won't you keep get monster name utility function if you don't use it? I wouldn't keep it if I weren't to use it because I don't like having dead code in the code base. And in particular, what that would represent is that we have like 8 different monster names manifested somewhere, like ogre and dragon, but that we're not using them anywhere. So now if we do end up changing it, we might not realize that this function is pointless. So yeah, I generally don't like to keep dead code around. All right, I should have saved the game. I didn't, but thankfully it's just 3 clicks to get back there. There, done. Now I'll save. Okay, so here, oh wait, I saved now after unlocking. All right, it says defeat the elite monster to be able to do repeatable battles here. Do we even need that text? I don't think so. What does this say if you have done it? It just says beat once to reveal rewards. No, I think this is fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. Now, the only thing that's technically not fine is that when you get to the mines, there are actually multiple elite monsters, but I think it's okay to just still say the elite monster. It's clear enough what it means, and no one's going to read the tooltip at that point anyway. So yeah, all right, this cuts down on how much we need to translate. So we don't need 8 different strings for this anymore. So I think this one's good now. And let's just take a screenshot of that. So this is what this looks like now. Defeat the elite monster to be able to do repeatable battles here. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, click to turn off, which will make workers ignore the whatever. All right, so just let's copy this. Gendered articles. Same as above, same as above, same as above, same as above, same as above. All this stuff is same as above. I copied multiple messages from Hideo, and I just want to make sure that this makes sense. Okay. All right, so click to turn off, which will make workers ignore the whatever. Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we just say key grinder here. And then we change the other one. So now we don't pass this in. Do we even use key grinder name anywhere? We probably aren't going to in a bit. No, we need it for building. Yeah, we need it for building. Okay, so we still need that. We don't need the string. So I get rid of this and the format now. Oh, speaking of getting rid of the format, can I get rid of that on the other function that we had here? Yeah, there's a string.format with nothing being formatted. So goodbye. Nice. Okay. Instance strings, we never actually needed this, so delete that. So this just says key grinder on it. And then the other one is click to turn off, which will make workers ignore the extractor. And now we go delete all of that and then check to see if extractor name still shows up somewhere. It is right there at least, but that's going to get deleted. Anywhere else where it's not going to get deleted? Formatted title. I think this is when you hover over it in the game. Yeah, that's fine. Although if that's the only place it's getting used, we don't really need a variable for it. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. You don't need to change it. This needs to change. Ugh. Nothing's easy. All right, so I think we fixed the one string. Click to turn off, which will make workers ignore the 0, is now gone, right? Yeah, it's gone. All right, next is click to turn on. That's the exact same thing. Oh, wait, well, that one's prioritized potions. So there's the key grinder. So now that one's done. Get rid of that and that and that. Okay. And then the other one that says click to turn on. The extractor. Format. Goodbye. Cool. So click to turn on. Done. Wait. Yeah. Was this here 4 times? Huh. I think there were similar ones. Okay, this extra whatever is affected by 1. What is this? This is the name of a skill. I don't know if we need to change the string here. I think we can just add context on the page and just say this always refers to shield bash and double strike. Yeah. Yeah, I think so. So if we go to here, find English, search for that. Yeah, so I think I can just add a screenshot to this. By the way, Hideo, if you are watching, does that sound reasonable? So it's 0 will always be shield bash, and 1 will always be double strike. So is that easy enough to just leave the string the same and just add context? Because I don't think there should be a problem translating it. It's only if these could change, which they can't. The reason they're parameterized is because there's formatting on them. Yeah, I'll take a picture. If it turns out to be wrong, I'll just... Yeah, if you're sure you're never going to use the sentence with something else, it's fine. Yeah, I guess that's the thing, is if we ever somehow we decided, oh, shield bash is gone and we replaced it with some other thing, I don't know, holy strike or something, then yes, this could potentially be wrong. But in this case, I only did this so that we could format the skill names correctly, which really is just making it bold, I think. Oh, and green. No, just green, not bold. Yeah, it's a risk. It's a pretty low risk. I think I'll just take a picture. All right, so what skill even is that for? Radiant Retaliation. This one. All right, so I'll just take a picture of that. Add screenshot. Wait, there's some way to paste. What? I did this before and there was a paste button here. What am I missing? All right, well, screenshot name, repository path. I don't know. I don't know why this UI looks different to me now. Am I wrong about what this ever used to look like? Strange.
Whoops.
I can't. I know I can choose a file. I know how I can get this to work. I don't think I should have had to do that because I got all these on here and I'm pretty sure I didn't save a file for this. In fact, if I did save a file, I'd have it on my machine and then that would probably tell me. No, I don't see anything here. I might have put it in a folder though. Hey, Flare. You can just Command V. It doesn't seem to be doing anything. Add screenshot. There was a... Oh, you know what's probably happening? When I press Command V, it's changing that in the background. I wonder if this is because of some weird weblate thing. Oh, you know what we could probably try then? What if I just try like right-click pasting into here? No. You need to focus the file input field though. I can't paste into here. I mean, I only have it on my clipboard right now. I want to try this out. I think that's what's going on though. I think if I just pick any other string, I think it's a weblate bug. That's what I'm going with. So if I click add screenshot here, okay, it's making a fool out of me. It's not a weblate bug. Yeah, I don't know how I got this to happen earlier. Weblate paste screenshot. Upload screenshot from clipboard. They added a paste button in. Like, I know they fixed this. I know I saw it. I used it. Marked as completed August 2024. Yeah. So how are you supposed to use this? Added paste screenshot from clipboard. User clicks paste. Then the clipboard is read if the permission is given. The user clicks paste. Yeah, like I said, there's a paste button, but I don't see the paste button. Something's wrong. You need to tab to the correct input and then press Command V. Command V in any of these doesn't do anything. And like I said, there's supposed to be a paste button here. There just isn't. Maybe it's because I'm supposed to do this somewhere else. What if I click one of these things? Oh, I swear this thing exists somewhere. I don't know what's going on right now. Did they share a picture of this? No, they didn't. Oh, come on. Is it working for you, Hideo? Can you paste a screenshot? I mean, don't save it, but like, does it even let you paste it? Yeah, paste screenshot button. I'm supposed to see the button somehow. I don't know why I don't see it. Document.ready. I know for sure there's supposed to be one there. Is it there in elements? Do we see like a paste button here? No. It's supposed to be there by ID, right? Yeah, paste screenshot button. I'm on some variation of this right now. Yeah, what is this website? This is the Weblate community translations for Skeleseller. Man, what am I supposed to do then? What if I try one of these? No, it's still not working. Or maybe we just need to type something. Test. No. I don't know how I did this. I didn't even get that UI. I don't have permissions. Yeah, okay. I see. All right, well, maybe they have an issue on why the paste button isn't showing up. Copy to clipboard button does not work. Maybe it's detecting I don't have permissions. I gave it permissions last time. This isn't even the right thing. I need some localization myself. How did you choose between using key names versus plain English string keys? So I think for our scene files, we are just using plain English strings. Actually, for everything, we're using plain English strings. And how do we decide? I think Kevin did this work a while ago, and I don't remember what he used to decide. I think it was that key names aren't supported everywhere to get them to look like English. There was some problem with that in Godot. So like, let's say you have like new game button or something. And of course it should probably just say like new game. Well, Godot is working on, and maybe they've done this by now, that if you type this in the editor, it would just show up as new game for you. So you wouldn't even know this was the ID. But I don't think that was there at the time. And either way, I think it's just natural to use the regular strings. So what ends up happening, in case you want to know the kind of high level of this, and I've got some notes on this online I can share with you. Localization in Godot. And I can upload the new ones if you want. I've been making changes, but I haven't published them yet. But anyway, here are my notes I took on this. And I try to make these pretty well fleshed out. But in general, the way this works is you will manifest something like this. You have a translate call and then just an English string and context if you feel like it. So this hurls a fireball at a single enemy will then show up in a .pot file. This is a portable object template file. And then you'll have language specific versions of this. So for example, scripts FR for French. And then we'll find that same thing, whatever it was called, like hurls a fireball. Yeah. So now the French translator would come in and be like, okay, this is an ability description. And here's what the English string is. So here's what I'll change it to in French. And then they're just done. They say it's in this panel, which I think is different from yours. Oh, am I supposed to paste there? Is it still on my clipboard? Upload a screenshot, helps translators. Upload a screenshot is in the translation context sidebar. Oh, in the tools menu. Where's that? I don't know what I'm doing. Let me click that wrench button. I don't know what I'm doing. In the context panel, not screenshot. What? Hang on a sec. Let me go back to this thing. Let's just go to any string. I guess it doesn't really matter what. In the context panel. Okay, what was special about the strings I did add screenshots for? Those were like value ones, right? What if we just search for value here? We'll eventually find the screenshots. There. Yeah, so how'd I add this? There's no paste button here either. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bang the microphone there. I'm so confused. I don't know how that ever happened. You just paste them on this page? I can't. Yeah, I've been trying to paste on every page I go to. I'm positive there was a paste button somewhere. I just don't know how we get it to show up. Maybe I can go look at the permissions that this has. Clipboard, yes. What if I turn it off and back on? What if I just turn it off? Oh man, I don't know. I don't know what I did. I think it's this panel, but I don't know how to access it. Edit additional string info explanation. Oh wait, I have gone to the explanation thing before here, but there wasn't a screenshot thing here. Huh. Maybe I can't be doing it through English. Maybe I have to do it through like French or something. No. All right, I don't know what I'm doing.
Whoops.
All right, well, was there an issue on this? Upload screenshot from clipboard. That was closed recently. Timeout too large. Myself. Anything. Let's save a file. Yeah, but now I'm frustrated. I wanna figure out how to do this the right way. But yeah, I guess it's not worth it. I will try one more thing really fast, I guess, which is let me try in an incognito page. And let me sign in. Give me a sec. Okay, so I'm signed in now. We go to English, we click whatever, we click add screenshot. Yeah, the only other thing I can think is that I have an update in Chrome. Maybe there was some underlying bug in Chrome, but I highly doubt that. Because I don't even see the element in the sources panel. In visual context for strings, whatever this is. Visual context. Yeah, I think it's exactly what we already saw. Separate management interface under the tools menu. Upload screenshots, assign them to source strings manually, or use optical character recognition. Oh, wait a second. I think I did this from my... Wait, no. I couldn't have done this from my other computer. Because I was going to say, what if it was a... It doesn't matter. All right, yeah, let's just save the files. All right, well, let's do that. Export as radiant retaliation. It's going to drive me nuts, though. Nuts. I'm never going to figure out how to get that button back. All right, English. Oh, am I doing this wrong? There we go. Add screenshot. All right, so just paste this over here. Done, and upload. Should already be assigned to the string, right? Yeah. And I'll just write an explanation over here. The 0 and 1 always refer to the same two skills. See the screenshot. Yeah. Can't believe this. Can't believe it. All right, so that one's done. All right, you have 0 perk for the 1 already. You have 0 perks for the 1, same as above. Oh, this is going to be annoying. It's going to be so annoying. Because this is for a building. Maybe we can get rid of one of the parameters for this. Yeah. Where does that show up? Yeah, let's look at this in context. I guess you hit this code. Check if the browser supports the clipboard API. Remove the screenshot button. The weird thing is, how did I ever do this in the first place? Try in Firefox? Yeah, it might work, but I've only used Chrome. And I made sure if I click here, I don't think it's private. Let me just double check. Yeah, if I click there, look at this. It says I have the clipboard permission. So yeah, I'll try Firefox. I am curious. Maybe it's a bug until you restart Chrome. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like if I click finish update over here. In fact, actually, that's probably faster to test rather than me signing in on Firefox. So let me just click this button. I won't be able to see chat for a second. It's going to close everything, isn't it? Yeah. And we're back. Okay. So now if I click add screenshot. Oh, how you vex me. How you vex me, computer. There's still no paste button. Oh, let's try Firefox. weblate.scalaseller.com. Oh, we're going to get this to work. We're going to get to work, chat. Engage privacy mode. I got to sign in, and I don't know my username or password, so I got to open up my password manager. Weblate. Okay, I'm signed in. Now, let's go find a string and click add screenshot. I see a browse button. I do not see a paste button. Um, what is this? Navigator clipboard read. I might need to give this permission in Firefox. That's my guess. Although I think it should have popped up with permissions. Also, I'm not so familiar with Firefox. I know how to do this. How do you give... How do you give permission in Firefox to the clipboard? About config, search preferences, enter clipboard events enabled, change value from true to false. It's on by default. Yeah, very strange though. All right, well, I tried. I tried. The only other thing I could have thought of here is that every once in a while I do work for my Chromebook. I wouldn't be able to take pictures of the game through the Chromebook though. So I must have done this on this computer. There's no other computer I could have used. And if I were using this computer, I would have used Chrome. And nothing meaningful should have changed in between then and now. And yet I don't have the button. Oh well. All right. So I was going to look at this in the game. We go into bone mode here. We go over to this. And then we need to get some battle perks. So I get any of these. Just click a few buttons. It doesn't matter what. And then I go to higher. And now this is where this shows up. It says you have one perk for the paladin already. You have one perk for the golem already. I could say you have one perk for this adventurer and just have one string. Yeah. This adventurer. Then we just don't use the display name. We do down there. Oh, but we're going to delete that too, I think. So instead of saying this, we'd also say this adventurer. And then change this to 0 and this to 1. Did I mess that up for the other thing? No. Okay, so let's save and quit and rebuild. Now we go load that game. So it says you have one perk for this adventure already. This adventure has a guild level of 1. It just feels like slightly more awkward wording. It does cut down on the work I have to do. If it were either one of these sentences, I think it'd be okay, but showing this adventurer twice just feels bad to me. Maybe I consolidate the two. Say like you have one perk for this adventurer and they have a guild level of 1. Or I could just make it even more sort of informal. Maybe it just says like perks chosen already 1 and guild level 1, no bonuses. That could work. It also cuts down on the amount of text on this screen, which is probably nice. And maybe makes it even easier to process. Hideo, in French, is it okay to do all of these things with the same string on the left side? Because in English, if you said perks chosen and it showed 1, that'd be normal. That's fine. But is that weird at all in French? Because yeah, I could probably change it to that, and I think it would look pretty good. Abby. Abby? Come on, Abby. Quote Katso. I picked the word for perks that would allow that. Okay. Yeah. There's another thing that I was thinking though, which is that for games, I think I think little things that are being wrong like that, I don't think are that jarring for me in English at least. Like there are a lot of Japanese games that got translated for English and then have like slight mistakes. I think people generally cut them some slack. Hi. Do you want to sit down? Come on, Abby. Come on, girl. Come on, sit down. Good cat. Good cat. Let me do work. Okay. So, no. She's like, I know where your attention is. It's not on me. Come on, come sit down. All your computer are belong to us. This cat is so adorable. Come on, yeah. Yeah. Just sit. Sit. Yes. Sit. Good cat. Okay. So instead of translate plural, I think we change this entire thing to perks chosen already. I like the word already there. 0. And then delete all of that. And then the other one of these, say guild level. Like that. Okay, let's go take a look at that one now. Hi. 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 Can someone clip this once it's done? I want to show my wife. Yeah. Does someone mind clipping that? Because I've told her that she does this when I'm streaming sometimes. And she wanted to see, and I didn't have a clip ready. If not, I can just take one myself later. I'll just note that on the time. Okay, so continue this. Okay, and then we go look at this thing again. So rolls, tank, heal, perks chosen already 1, guild level 1. Okay, so what I want to see is what happens when we get the guild level up a little bit. But in order to do that, we need to get the treasure room. And then can I cheat this in? Yeah, nice. But which are the adventures that I was offered? Paladin and Golem. That is for the Paladin. So let's put that in there. And now we see guild level 2, +5 health, +1 power. Yeah. Does anyone think this looks like awkward at all? I don't know. Is it like too many colons in here? Perks chosen already 1, guild level 2. Yeah, I think this is fine. Honestly, anything that cuts down on me having to translate like 8 strings per language, I think would be great. This would actually be 10. So, all right, I think those are fixed now. Distinct perks for the whatever already. Yeah, so this is for buildings. So I got to get money. And we see garbage slime and fishing pond. So we got to find one of those. Those are not any of them. That doesn't work. Yeah, so none of those. Come on. Ah, there we go. There's one. Okay, so it says you have 1 distinct perk for the garbage slime already. You have 0 distinct perks for the fishing pond already. What do we say over here? Perks chosen already? I said distinct perk. I don't think we need to say that. I think we just use the same text. Perks chosen already. And just put that in. Yeah. All right, let me write myself a note. So Wednesdays afternoon stream at 1 hour and 17 minutes off time. Abby. Yeah, let's leave it at that. All right. This perks chosen already. I want to use the same thing. Oh, this isn't even translated now. Whoops. I almost messed that up. And then I want a context for this, I think. It's sort of like a column header. I guess it's not. As long as we use the exact same string, it'd be okay. But maybe what we should do is put this in one of the strings files here. Dialogue strings. building strings. Yeah, maybe in dialogue. Yeah, that's probably reasonable. Public static string perks chosen. We could even take in the number of perks chosen. All right, so string dot format. Translate perks chosen already. Num perks. But this is specifically for the sake of this. So format number. I think format number just takes in a number now, so I don't need to do that. Yeah. So now I can use that inside of dialog strings. So we just do that. Dialog strings dot perks chosen. I guess we kind of lose some context by doing this. Maybe I'll just put a comment on it. Num perks chosen. All right, and then the same thing over in building. Yeah, here it is. Okay. Num perks chosen, building name. Yeah, so we don't need the building name anymore. Building name is probably fetched up here. We put it in the title. Okay, still needed. Found this extra page dedicated to screenshots. Maybe you can upload from there and select the end. Oh, I had this page open. It still doesn't have the paste button though. I don't know why. If I click upload, maybe? No. AAA, upload. Yeah. I don't know why it doesn't work. Does it show even originally? And they just remove it now. Hey, Caleb. How you doing? I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing? Thank you for the resub. Hi. All right. I want to write a comment for this. What time is it that you're doing this, cat? 2:30? Jeez. Just keeps getting earlier and earlier. I18N. This is for building or hiring in bone mode. Come on, cat. You can sit down. Good cat. Okay. There. So we're building or hiring in bone mode. It tells you how many perks will modify that building or adventure. Ad blocker. I don't even think I have an ad blocker on here. Yeah, I have DNS level ad blocking, which if it would block that one element, it would have blocked the whole site. And I don't have any extensions on Firefox at all, I think. Is there another browser I even have on this machine? Does Safari exist still? It does. And I'm going to open this. Yeah. Stomach's been quite a bit unhappy with me over the last couple of days, mostly back to normal. Got a flight in 7 hours to Copenhagen. Wow. Yeah, I hope it levels off so you can just enjoy the holidays. I'll send you the bill by mail. Thank you. Thank you, Pickle. I appreciate it. That's it. That was all the work for this afternoon. We just needed to translate that one word, and no one offered that up until right now. All right, so I think we fixed these. Let's go take a look at it in game. It should have autosaved by now because I've just been sitting around doing nothing. So we load this save file and click build. I actually liked it with more text earlier, but this isn't bad. Perks chosen already 1, perks chosen already 0. Yeah, this isn't bad. And now it matches this. Okay, sure. This requires the 0, same as above. Hey, Friday. This is a building name. I think this one we might need to break off into many different strings. This requires the fishing pond. This requires the build enchanter's den. That's not right. Oh, that's definitely not right. I'm doing well. How are you doing Friday? On this fine Wednesday? Build enchanter's den. Yeah, whoops. That says build enchanter. It should say enchanter name. I mean, it's probably going to be changed eventually anyway. Okay, well, that was a minor error. But the main thing we'd have to do is probably pull out strings for all of these ones. This requires the farm. This requires the build, or the enchanter's den, whatever. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's a corn keyboard. All right, so if I quit and re-enter this. If you're curious about learning more, there's a video I made there. And I also have my key map for the extra nerdy people. All right, so town perks. Yeah, so we fixed that string. I think we could potentially change the text. We could just change it to requires colon and then building name, instead of saying this requires the building name. So this is the current text, and this is the proposed text. I kind of like it. Yeah, I think I like it. The thing I don't know about is this going to be a problem in any other language? Like, it's not a problem in French. It's not a problem in English. Is it a problem in Korean? Can you... Wait, if it is a problem in Korean, I guess someone will just tell me it's a problem. Or they'll find some way to work around it, maybe. All right, well, that's what I'm going to do now, I guess. So let's go find that. Building perk choice requires... Where do we put that text? This requires the 0. Here it is. All right, requires colon 0. No period. Let's try that. What a good cat. I have a wired question request to which you can refuse. Yeah, sure. What is it? Town perks. Requires fishing pond. Requires enchanter's den. Yeah, this looks pretty nice. In fact, actually even saying requires colon might not be necessary. I found a screenshot. You're not crazy? The paste button? Yeah. I knew I saw this. Would you mind if my AI takes over your Twitch chat messages and replies to every chat message in the chat only for 2 to 3 minutes? Yes, I would mind that greatly. If you need to test this stuff, it's not hard for you to test by just copy pasting this into your own channel. You don't need someone's permission to do this. You can just go into any Twitch chat and just stream the messages out, or even do what I just did, copy them here, then give them to your AI and have it respond. And by the way, if you did that and you never even told me you did that, and then you just pasted the responses in yourself as though you were just a regular chatter, I'd never have any clue unless it was obviously AI. Why is it right next to add to Google Wallet? Well, presumably it's not going to undo the plane ticket. So. Hey, William. Hey, Phil. So I got to say, this same pattern happened the other day where someone came in and said, "Hi, how are you doing?" And I just responded with good. This pattern happened the other day, and I just ignored the person after some amount of time. I assumed they were like 12 years old. But that pattern is always indicative of something's about to go south, and I don't know why. Like, in real life, it's a very normal pattern of like, "Hey, how you doing?" "Oh, I'm doing well. How are you doing?" On Twitch, it's like, I don't trust this person immediately. Hi, Mysterious. How are you doing? That's what I wanted to test. I thought it'd be nice to ask. What I'm saying is you don't need to really involve anyone else for this, right? You could just go to, like, I don't know, Shroud's Twitch stream and just copy paste all the messages out and just see, like, yeah, does this sound reasonable? Sound like a nice chat message? And Shroud never needs to know, and Shroud's viewers never need to know. But yeah, that is. But hey, I'm not saying everyone on Twitch is gonna act like this. You might find someone who's like, yeah, sure, by all means, test it out here. Just not gonna be me. Is there 2026 April Fool's Day? I thought of an idea. I don't know how much it's gonna take to execute on, but I can't really think about that right now. I think we'll try to think about it in February or March. What's the point of having an AI chatbot for using someone else's Twitch chat other than just burning your own money? I mean, presumably to eventually sell it as a service, right? You could be like, oh, hey, I have a chatbot and it'll respond to chat for you, and that way there's always activity in your chat. And by the way, it's only $3 a month. Yeah, and people might be interested in that. Like I said, I don't think it's bad of this person to ask, and I don't think it's bad of other people to want to use it. It's just not something I want in my channel. That's all. I am a little torn on this one here. Requires Enchanter's Den. I mean, this is fine. But I think I do want to write out all the individual strings. This requires the farm. This requires the Enchanter's Den. Did I take a picture of it before? I don't think I did. No, but it's just this requires the whatever. I just imagine that use case. Yeah. I think that'd be the use case. I think also the level of activity in someone's Twitch chat. I think some people, it's almost like a fear of silence. Like I've seen people have Twitch chats where they're like, there's just these mini games. I don't know who's actually playing, but they're just kind of spammy in the chat, and it makes it look like there's more activity than there normally is. I'm building this for my own chat, but I don't have any viewers or messages. Yeah, but I mean, you can still test it without someone else, right? I guess I still don't totally understand why you need to go into a random channel and ask if you can test it. Like, yeah, why not just copy paste all of this chat into your channel, act like it's chat that's happening, and be like, yeah, cool, it worked or it didn't work. I'm not going to take a break yet. I kind of wanted to just work through this, but I am still torn about this thing, and I really don't want to manifest like 6 of these strings. If you get building name and description, so what we need is something like get requires building. Oh, you know what else I forgot to do? I want to look into this really fast. Godot Steam.steam. Is that what I'm doing for all of this? It is. Okay, so then never mind. That's all fine. Oh, yeah. Unusual chat activity. Like to see an AI respond to that. Maybe because of Jump Royale Pro. Some kind of game that makes a Dale listen in radio mode. But I'm not present for that, just to be clear. It's not like I need chat activity. That's just the interface for the game. All right. Well, I'm just waffling on this. How do I feel? I could change this to requires 0, but I don't really like how it looks. Honestly, I think we just do this for now and not worry about it too much. No, I'm going to do it. Yeah, this is rubbing me the wrong way. I'm waffling because I like the harder way better, and I don't want to do that work. So now that I've realized that, I'm going to go do the work. So we have building strings, and we're going to make a public static string get building is required message. Building ID. This is already in building functions. I guess I could go there. Yeah. I don't have anything too fleshed out here. In fact, we could just add another one here, can't we? Let me go take a look at that again. I can't find it. Here it is. Is this the only place we use this? isn't. So we could make a function just for this particular one. Yeah, I think we make a function just for this particular one. This is just so we can get the building name so we can add in here. So we wouldn't even need this here. We just make a totally different function. Requirement string. Building functions dot get building as required message. And then we pass in the required building ID. And then just delete that. And just use the message wholesale. Done. What does apples mean? I was making an achievement where you had to click 25 apples. And we finished that pretty early on. So now we're just working on translation stuff. Xyletics. Those are humans. Okay, so now we go code this function. Public static string this. And we do one of these. So warehouse, I guess we'll get all this stuff from here. Building strings. I'll just go make another one of those somewhere. They really should be interspersed throughout this. Yeah, I'll put it at the last one. Public static string warehouse required. Is this ever a thing? Does anything require the warehouse? This, what's the text we had here? This requires the warehouse. I'm not certain this is ever needed, so I'll just write it to do here. See if this is ever actually surfaced somewhere. I mean, translation cost for this should probably be pretty low if you've done all the strings around this. But yeah. All right, so that's a warehouse. Now we need it for everything else. Building functions. I want to put this next to tab number 22. There we go. All right, so there's warehouse. Next up is garbage slime. Cycler required. This requires the garbage slime. Oh, okay. So this is going to be, yep, warehouse required. This is building strings dot garbage slime required. Cool. Farm, pond, enchanter, chef slime, treasure room. Farm, farm name and description are split by something? No, we just don't have any other farm strings here. Oh, that's kind of funny. Art's looking really good. Thanks. Yeah, I can't take any credit for that. It's almost entirely Quickie Joe at this point. Farm required. This requires the farm. Okay, what else do we need? Pond, enchanter. Pond. Enchanter. Chef slime and treasure room. Chef slime required. And treasure room. Put that there. Treasure room required. Hey Tim, how you doing? Welcome in. And hello everybody. Hey Joss. We are working on translations. The short story about this is that there were a lot of strings that I wrote out where I said something like, you have hired the 0. And then you fill this in English with warrior, rogue, mage, whatever. And that works. But then in French, the also needs to change. So you can't just have one string for you have hired the and then anything. You need to know there's got to be a masculine the and a feminine the. So instead, you need to change this to like individual, you have hired the warrior, you have hired the rogue. And, you know, this would change to like masculine and this would change to feminine and this would change to whatever masculine for mage. I don't know what the actual words are in French, but yeah, so that's what I'm going through here and changing all of these things. So that either we can delete it and just say you hired the adventurer and not need a specific word, or that we have specific strings. So like in this case, this requires the, I now have, what is that, 7 strings just to change the final word. So now in French, you'd be like, okay, masculine, feminine, masculine, masculine, feminine, whatever, and go through. So that's all we're working on. It's pretty boring. I hope Tim's stream was good. You have an energy to tide yourselves over for this low energy stream. All right, this is farm required. Also, I realized what the save my life thing was that Tim was saying. You were talking about the solder fumes. Yeah, masculine, feminine, neutral. Yeah, exactly. The whole point is anything that requires like a gender match, a number match, I don't know, anything else, like a subject object match, anything that could change forms, you need to accommodate with your localization. Hey, Frogger, thanks for the resub. Then yeah. Okay. So I thought you said I saved your life on the stream when I came in, and I was like, I haven't even been here for long enough to save anyone's life. All right, now what's the problem here? What did I mess up? I'm gonna assume nothing. Added stubs into my project for potential localization, but we'll see if I actually try to do it because font and other requirements might be a pain. Yeah, for the font, I just got just a font that will work. Probably doesn't look like a video game font, but it'll let people play the game. So that's what I'm doing. But yeah, it has not been a small amount of work. And even if I had done this stuff ahead of time, I still think it would have slowed down every single feature I would have made by a certain amount. Because like, I still would have needed to type out a whole bunch of different strings for this and then make sure that they're actually translatable, as opposed to just, oh, it works in English, let's stop thinking about it. So yeah, I'm a little bit torn on this in the future. I do think I'm going to steer toward a default of like translate as soon as I know that the game is going to get built. So as an example, for the next game that I make, I might spend like 3 months making the game just to figure out, is it fun? As soon as the answer to that, is it fun? Or rather, like, will I finish this? As soon as this answer is yes, I think that's when I would translate it. Or localize it, like set up for translation. Because then you have 3 months of work to go through and not, 18 or 20 or something. It would still be a pain to go through 3 months of stuff, but it's not nearly as bad as going through 6 times as much. I'm on day 42. Yeah. All I meant is just like, if you know you're going to make the game in other languages, you should probably start localizing it as soon as you can. But your timeline is so short that you might not want to spend the time on it, and you might not even want to localize it for other languages yet. You might want to just do it in English at first. How do you decide which languages? I left that up to the internet. I just did some searches on like what are the most common languages for games, and they gave that list of French, Spanish, Italian, German, Japanese, Korean, Chinese, and Brazilian Portuguese. I think that was the list. Yeah. So like Dutch is not on that list. Apparently enough Dutch people play video games just in English where you don't need to translate to Dutch. I'd work on translation after launch if the game is popular. I think the difficult thing about doing this is that I'm not sure what kind of Steam momentum you get from this. So imagine that you've got, let's say 100 influencers lined up, and they're going to all play your game, and they're going to have a combined audience of, just make up a number, right? 500,000 people or something like that. You'll find some bleed over into other cultures, and they might be like, oh, I want to play this game on my channel, but I only have a Japanese audience, and I'd be playing the game in English. So I'll like wait for it to come out, but then there's no release. There's no like email. You'd add it to your wish list, but you'd only be notified of sales, not when Japanese is available. So I think it's difficult, but again, it all depends on what's your budget, what's your timeline. 500,000 impressions. I've got some stats. I don't know if I've ever shown you this, Tim, and I'm not going to show all the stats right now, but a bunch of people did Skeleseller videos, and the top 2 were Avok and Idle Cub. So 92,000 and 46,000. So like a combined 140,000 basically views on those videos. I saw such a spike in Steam stats when that happened. Like when Idle Cub's video dropped, the downloads went through the roof. Our like concurrent players went up to, I don't know, 130 or something. And any time around that, it had been at most like 10 or 20. So it skyrocketed. And that's from a video with about 100,000 views after 5 months. So I just wonder, the people who get like, 30,000 concurrent viewers on Twitch, what kind of, how much money do they pull in per day just by having that many eyeballs on their stream? Gotta be crazy. All right, so I think we got this now. Let's go try it out. All right, so it should say this requires the whatever. This requires the fishing pond. This requires the enchanter's den. This requires the farm. Okay, so there are those three. Let's make sure we've covered all of them inside the game. I want to make sure they look good, like in context. So what do we see already? Fishing pond, enchanter's den, and farm. All right, so now we buy one of those. There's garbage slime. That looks good. There's, I think, only one perk that requires the chef slime. Oh, I have a file going already. I need to start a new game. Oh, you'll never see the chef slime one because you start with a chef slime. Do we delete this? I think so. It's never going to show up. Already here. Note the chef slime doesn't show up here since you start bone mode with it. All right, so I just need to look at treasure room now, I think. There, this requires the treasure room. Okay, yeah, looks good. Or maybe treasure room and key grinder. Nah, just treasure room's fine, I think. Likes to get a fish and chips for breakfast. Wait, before you travel? Traveling early, I like to get it for breakfast. Yeah, wow. I was going to say, when I'm about to travel, I make sure I'm getting something that I know my stomach can handle. I mean, you must know that your stomach can handle this because you like to do it, and you probably haven't had any problems. But you did mention your stomach's been a little upset earlier. And fish and chips before flying sounds pretty heavy. I know I could just do a Google search on this, but there used to be a Sparrow's Pizza in a lot of different airports in the US. And I guess they still exist. But I don't know how many locations. They have 600 locations. Yeah, I haven't seen one of these in an airport in a long time. Oh, they also changed their logo. But I used to like getting just a slice of pizza. It's pretty simple. Okay, so what requires the warehouse? I guess we could just search for building ID.warehouse. I think there's at least one perk that requires it. Free guild supplies and warehouse storage. Yeah, so there are two perks. So if we look through enough of these, we will eventually see it. But it might take a very long time to find this. Yeah. Oh, there we go. This requires the warehouse. Okay, perfect. Looks good. All right, so that one's done. What is this? Same as above, would be different for minutes or days. I don't even know what this is saying. Can I search up here? Is that even how search works? I don't think so. French. Why'd French go down to 49%? I didn't do anything. Uh-oh. It was at 50%. All right, here it is. New customers appear every whatever rather than every whatever. Yeah, so this is always going to be in minutes. I'll just write this down here. This is always, the times are always in minutes. Yeah. My play is actually sabotaging him. Percentages change randomly, and I'm not crazy. No, I think you just change them on the stream. See, it says 50% now. But now here it says, oh, wait, because I was in a component, right? I maybe looked over here. Yeah, okay. I don't think it changes randomly. I think it is based on the components. And I was just looking at the overall language versus a specific component. All right, none, same as above. This one, I don't know where this is. Maybe we can find it by just typing in none. There are only 2 strings. Oh, yeah, that was easy. Where is this from? Difficulty data? Huh. This is if there are no constraints. I should probably make that clear. I can contribute Italian native. How do you screen community translators? If I'm a mod in their channel, then they are immediately screened positively. So welcome aboard, Irad. I honestly really appreciate it. So yeah, that would help a lot. Yeah, I will reach out to you as soon as I think the French is done, because that way you don't have to give me the same feedback that Hideo would give me for French. And also it'd probably cut down on the amount of work I have to do too. So like all this stuff that he said, I'm assuming is pretty much the same for Italian. And yeah, I'll add some more things for this too. But yeah, thank you. It does, and I'll stick to that. Okay. So I think we just need to clarify what none means here. Yeah. I'll put a screenshot in the game. I think that's probably best. Although I don't even know where it shows up. Does it show up anywhere? No, I don't think it ever shows up. Huh, I didn't even think of that. Oh, wait, no, maybe it shows up in this thing up here. No, it doesn't. I don't think this is a thing. I think this string is totally unused. Adam, what do you think of Emacs? So, okay, my take on Emacs is probably like if you ask me about certain cars or something like that. Like, Emacs looks good. I don't use it. If I did use it, I'd probably like it. And that's it. Yeah, I just don't have any other thoughts. It seems like it's a really nicely made program. It's just not the program I use. Emacs is a lot of things actually, but it's mostly a text editor. It's practically like an entire operating system unto itself. But really, it's a text editor. So imagine if instead of VS Code, you saw me using Emacs. You'd still see tabs. You'd still see text. If you ever watch L:(Q), he does a whole bunch of different stuff in Emacs natively. So like you can render games if you wanted to. You could start a browser in Emacs if you wanted to. You could do a whole bunch of stuff. Haven't watched in a while. What is Bone Mode? Bone Mode is the roguelite mode. Bone stands for business optimization via new expansions. It's basically just, yeah, roguelite mode for Skeleteller. It's like a regular Mac Go, but electronic. Hey, Brom. I was a diehard Emacs user, but today it feels pretty obsolete. Here you go, Deke. Wait, what? This is what this means? Yeah. Doesn't the glossary have that? I only added like 3 terms to the glossary. I thought that was one of them. I mean, I know that it's not necessarily easy to see. I don't even know how to find the glossary anymore. Where do you find it? There it is. English. Maybe I never even added it. Browse. Bone Mode. Yeah, no, I did. Okay. Yeah, so just to show this off briefly in the game. So once you've beaten story mode, you unlock Bone Mode. And here you pick a scenario. And the scenarios have different like special starting points. So for example, popularity, you start with a ton of customers. So when we start this scenario, you'll see a whole bunch of customers come over the bridge here. And normally you get like 3. And if we speed this up a bit, you'll see you get, I don't know, 15 maybe? I don't know how many that is. So yeah, so this is like already, it's a better starting point than you're used to. And then the special thing about Bone Mode is instead of being like, okay, I want the garbage slime, you just click build. And you might get the garbage slime, but you might not. So here we got the farm and the warehouse. So maybe I'm like, okay, you know what? The farm looks good. Let's get that. And now you're like, okay, I wanted to get rid of the rocks. So you click town perks and you click buy, but you didn't get that. We did get a farm perk here. We got well water, so we could click that if we want to, or we could re-roll. We got a different kind of sort of farm perk. But yeah, so it's a roguelite mode, and then once you win, you start getting upgrade points, and you can like get upgrades and unlock new perks and stuff. Multiple hours. It doesn't need to be super clever. What's the word in French for bone? Let's find out. Os. Yeah. So you can probably come up with a pretty easy acronym for this. Yeah. Like, what's the word for optimize? There's one's already done for you. Now you just need system. There. Optimization system. We're done. See? By the way, Dale, I know I'm joking here, right? And I don't know if that works exactly in French anyway. But like, that's a level of thought I think you need to put into this, because I don't want you to spend hours on this, and it doesn't need to be like super clever. It needs to kind of give the same idea that like you're doing things randomly in the mode, and it does kind of sort of need to be related to skeleton somehow. But beyond that, yeah. All right, so yeah, I don't think this none ever shows up in the game. Constraints count translate none. How about this? Let's just make this be special strings dot not translated. Oh, by the way, as long as I'm talking about this stuff, so if anyone else can contribute for any of the languages listed here, if you speak one of these natively and you'd like to help out on Skeleseller, that would be great. So yeah, please do let me know. And if you the details are all in this translate command. And if I don't get any help for some of these, they'll probably just be AI based until I find out if the game is doing well or not. If the game does well, I even mentioned this in that document. I don't mind paying people for this stuff. I just don't think, like, I can't budget for getting 8 translations ahead of time, because I think each translation is probably like roughly $1,000. At least that's my guess. But yeah, I don't know. I've done a year of Japanese on Duolingo. But you can translate the name of the game engine into Dutch. Go Dot. I'm never going to drop that. Mysterious. You should have never told me. Okay, so these two are done. Higher tab. Is this more of a description? Can I tweak higher, or is higher the name of a tab and my translation should match the name of that tab? Translate somewhere else. Higher tab. Okay, yeah. So where does that name come from? Should be like higher tab titles. Yeah, here it is. All right, so how do we find that now? Let me close out of all these other tabs we have. All right, English. I want to search for higher. We should find the tab title. Where is it? There it is. Okay, then we copy the link to here, and then we go find higher tab. And then we put an explanation here. This is a key binding for the higher tab. As such, the word higher should match what is manifested here. I wonder if there's a better way to link to other strings. Is there some special logic for that? Explanation. Some file formats support storing explanations of the file. Is there no better way to link between these things? Huh. I get translated into real English. Hey, Lammy. And hey, Luke, you got any tips on localizing? Do you have a separate branch per language? How do you get translators to collaborate? Would love any tips. Yeah, I've got some. I got some things I can share with you. One is this, which even if you're not using Godot, maybe some of this is still helpful. Oh, whoops. There's that. This should be tabbed back. There we go. Yeah, it's broken on the site. Yeah, there are some things in here. In general, and the way I break this down on here is you need to be able to find strings in your code base to be translated. You need to translate them. And I didn't write this exactly, but you need to make sure that they can be translated well. And I wrote a bunch of things in here, but I have not updated the notes that you're seeing there. So the newest section that I added was something that Hideo and I just talked about recently, which is this. So yeah, if you were to take a picture of everything on the screen right now, this is the stuff I want to upload and just haven't yet. And I mean, this is in the VOD now, so you don't need to take a picture. But yeah, the gist of it is, in English, you might have something like you've unlocked the forest, and you might just parameterize that last word. But the also needs to be changed based on the subject in some languages. And this is not just a gendered article that's the problem. You might also have like, hey, a word looks like this one is the subject and it looks like this one is the object. So you just need to make sure that you've allowed translators to be able to translate it into their language. And yeah. Okay, so I don't know a better way to link this, so I'm just going to do it like this for now, and hopefully that's not a problem. Oh, the link at least shows up. That's pretty nice. Okay. Hey, Envy. Had to make an RPG in 3 days for a jam. Tips on how to scope or scale it down. I procrastinated a lot. Wait a second. You have 3 days and you said I procrastinated a lot? Because like how many more? Oh, you have 3 days remaining? Like you would have had maybe 7 days or something? Anyway, how do you scope or scale it down? I think when you're talking about a game in that short, I have an hour left. When you only have that short of an amount of time, I think you need to boil it down to like, what's the mechanic you want it to revolve around? I had a month. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. I think you should just focus on like, what's one mechanic? So RPGs, I mean, really can mean anything. Obviously, it meant role-playing game originally. So it could just mean you're playing a role. You could be like a sheet of paper and it could be an RPG. It doesn't necessarily need things like experience or leveling or any other number of things. So what I would say is like, is it a game about battling? Is it about trading? Is it about, I don't know, exploration? And then I just focus on that one thing. So if it's battling, I might not have an inventory. I might not have, I don't know, anything more than just like a couple of stats. Because 3 days is not a lot of time to make something. So yeah, just kind of boil it down to a mechanic that seems like it's fun. And then from that mechanic, come up with a gameplay loop. So if it's battling, it's like, okay, well, your gameplay loop might be to battle, to get stronger, to eventually beat, you know, a final enemy or something like that. But yeah, I think, oh, thank God, cat, please go. Okay. Oh. Yeah, I find, by the way, even outside of game jams, I think probably like the biggest killer of hobby projects is the scope being so big that you get demotivated. And the maybe tied with that is like the complexity being too much. Hang on one sec. Let me close the door. She wants to just yowl out there. I'm going to feed her in an hour. So yeah, I think if you're new to game dev, if you're new to probably pretty much anything, and you try tackling a project that's too big or too difficult for you, I think it's going to feel like, oh God, what have I done? And it's pretty easy to just stop doing it forever at that point. Hey, Michael. What am I learning? My channel name isn't really named all that accurately. I'm making a game called Skeleseller. Back in 2020, I wanted to do like tech content, so I named the channel Adam Learns. And the goal was just learn a bunch of stuff and teach those things. But ever since then, I just switched back to game dev. So we're not actively learning on a lot of these streams. We're just applying knowledge. All right, so I think this has been clarified. Just received 200 more. That's $20. Thanks, Hideo. Also, thanks for letting me know about the survey thing. I didn't even realize I was still going on. Didn't you rename your channel? Yeah, I used to be Adam13531, which is not a very descriptive name, and not everyone even knew what the numbers were off the top of their head. Some people did. And some days I wonder if I should have just never rebranded. But yeah, even Adam makes stuff like it's not all encompassing. What if I do just want to learn one day? So I almost wonder if I should just like I wanted Adam Does as a name. When I was at Google, this is what my username was. Because I thought, oh, it's cool that I went from Adam Learns to Adam Does. But this was taken on Twitch. So I couldn't get that one. 13531 Learns Live. The worst name. Because I had to make an RPG inspired by Deltarune, so I was kind of demotivated to actually work. Came in here live to have someone working in my ear. Yeah. Yeah, something inspired by Deltarune. Interesting. I think some kind of turn-based combat would probably be like the mechanic I'd go for. Although I think Deltarune has more than that. I just didn't play for very long. Adam Does stuff. Yeah, that could potentially work. I think that was already done, though. Feel like you're learning about a lot about stuff all the time. Yeah, I do learn. I just don't think it's the main focus. I think it's just a requirement to get to my end task, and my end task typically happens to be game dev more often than not. All right, next perk tab. Is this about perks having multiple tabs and it's about the next one to tab, or about the next perk which has a tab? Yeah, I'll write that down in the thing. So next perk tab. Oh, you know what I could do? I could take a picture of exactly what this does. I could just be like this. Oh, wait. It's not a shortcut there. It's a shortcut here. Adam activity status. That's great. We need it to be like Adam $sign activity. And no one will know what that's supposed to mean. Adam does $sign activity. I like that. Could that even work? No, it's 26 characters. It needs to be 25 for a Twitch name. All right, so pressing E switches between these. All right, so pressing this key will go to the next tab of these. There we go. Now we got to save it because this thing doesn't have a paste button. Export. Save as next tab. Okay, now go put that on Weblate. Add screenshot. Next tab. Okay, and then I don't think I need to say this explicitly for the previous perk tab, but I'm going to write a note to look at that explanation. Look at the screenshot in this to see what this refers to. Except this is the previous tab, of course. Can you use italics here? Yeah, you can. Oh, so then I could have made this into probably a markdown link, right? Oh, also, this should be HTTPS. Why is it copying as HTTP? That's weird. I didn't type it as HTTP. I wonder if it has some detection to know what it's running on, because it thinks it's running on HTTP, but then Cloudflare is terminating HTTPS at its connection and sending it to the server. Well, whatever. I can still do what I wanted to do here. Next perk tab. All right, that should work. Yeah. Adam put current activity here live. Imagine if you could change your name like every 10 minutes. I want to make a game simulating artillery and bevy, but I'm afraid of getting in the rabbit hole. The rabbit hole of what? Simulating artillery. I mean, this sounds, yeah, it sounds reasonable. Do something like that. Adam the operator. They're not all perk tabs, right? Only the first two. Well, they're all like randomized sets of things. And we do, I think, somewhere maybe call these building perks. Not really, actually. I guess we don't. Yeah, I guess they're not technically all perk tabs. It's the quick link button. Oh, it's this doing it? Huh. When I hover over it, it shows. Oh, yeah. It shows HTTPS at the bottom left, but it copies as HTTP. But that shouldn't be a problem to go to that link, right? Yeah, yeah, okay. I'm not going to worry about that then. I probably should change it. Didn't you make a loop with that link? Next perk tab goes to next perk tab. No, there's no loop. Because previous links to next. And then next just has a picture. But something I should probably do just to be safe about this is put an S there. And then I made one other link somewhere, but I don't know how to find that. What was it for? There's something else today I talked about. Higher tab. Yeah, here. Higher word what should match what's manifested here. Okay, there we go. Also, I liked that the explanation shows right here too. That's pretty nice. Yeah. Man, I still shudder to think that I wanted to make a tool to do all this stuff myself. And I like drastically underestimated what it would take. And my original idea was terrible anyway. I was going to have, I don't even want to explain this right now, but I was going to make it so that you could press like F12 or something, and then it would annotate all of these buttons or labels with a number, and then you could provide a translation for like that specific number. It would have been a nightmare, an absolute nightmare to code, to translate, to do anything. All right, cat's going crazy, but it's not time to feed her yet. All right, hi, I'll tell you how your treasure room works. Also, some similar sentences that look like a tutorial. Is you kind of informal or pretty formal? It does change the translation in French. I think we'd always say that all of this is informal. Yeah. Imagine if you get an artillery piece, you aim without seeing the enemy, then you get the slow-mo where it lands. Yeah, I think if you kind of start doing this sort of thing, you'll realize like what are the difficulties in it. Because in short, it is rendering artillery, I guess, rendering an enemy, then controlling the aiming, and then firing and doing this slow-mo effect. And if you just approach it from that point of view, it's like, I think you'll get the rendering down pretty quickly. Controlling the aiming should be pretty fast. The slow-mo effect will probably be the most difficult of the things you talked about. And if you've never done game dev before, you'll need to handle things like collision too. But yeah, those are all doable. So I'll tell you how your treasure room works. Let's go find that one. I'll tell you how. Wait, when I write an explanation, is it always going to write it for English? I don't know how that works. I also don't know where to write this. Maybe in the translate guide. Yeah, instructions. Maybe I should write something about formality. If you have an informal versus formal you in your language, you probably always want to use the informal version for this game. It's really hard for me to say though, because I don't know what would happen in another game. I don't think that's true. All right, then I don't think I can give guidance on this because I don't actually know. Yeah. Younger character might use formal language for an older. Oh, I'm not saying every game. I'm saying at least for this game, like the people you meet, you can sort of consider them all to be your friends. I guess. I guess that's how I'd say it. But yeah. Fair thanks for the raid. Howdy. Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Works in dialogue, like it sounds like this dialogue, but in the tooltip you won't. Oh, I see what you're saying. Oh, okay. Wait, but I'm saying at least. Okay, never mind. I don't know how to give advice about this then. Yeah. In my mind, everything should be informal. Got some to-do items cleaned up. How it goes? It's going pretty well. Check out these new emotes. Wouldn't this be treated like a customer scenario for the tutorial aspect? In which case, I would imagine it'd be more formal. Yeah, I don't know. I think we're at the edge of my ability to comprehend things in the stream, so I'm probably not going to do a good job answering this, even if it were a little bit better. Like even this, I don't know what the U should be, just based on connotation in French. Like I consider this informal. Did I make them myself? No. Those are just ripped right from Skeleseller, which Quickie Joe made all of those. So I did not do any drawing for those. I just uploaded them. I made an emote for someone recently too. Nice. It's nice to have you as the artist credit for all this. I wonder if you can list that somewhere. Like which, oh nice, you can. Oh no, it just links to your channel. Oh. It'd be nice if you could see all the emotes that someone made. I think a tooltip could be informal, but a character talking to the player I would think would be formal. But it all depends, right? Like let's say that character were, I don't know, you're like best friend in the world, but in the game. In the game world, I guess. How about we say that? They'd probably use informal language, right? So imagine if everyone's your best friend, then everyone would be informal. And that's kind of at least how I look at it. It's not like everyone's your best friend in the game, but like they all kind of act like they know you already. They kind of make jokes. Like this person, where is it? Yeah, like this. When you think about it, isn't it a bit strange that you turn into a skeleton? You must have had unresolved business. Like, if you didn't know any better, you might think this should be formal, but they're kind of joking that you died, which I think makes it informal, but yeah, I don't know. In screenshot at least. Yeah, you can always share that. Inspect element, add 400 other emotes other people made. They're addressing the player, not the character in the game, right? Technically, I don't think anything's addressing the player, except for maybe this. This U is addressing the player, which even then I don't know. Would that be something that's supposed to be formal? Yeah, actually, that's a good thing to ask about. So, Hideo, would this U be formal, saying like you, the player, have a saved game? I would defer to formal. Okay. So then that's what I think. I think that's how we should generally use the formal version for dialogues addressing the player, which are very few. And the informal version for NPC text or anything addressing the skeleton. For example, I would use the formal version when telling the player that they have a saved game. Let's get a picture for that. Now let's take a picture of the whole thing and we'll just trim it in here. I'm doing a bad job of this. I'm trying to just take it on this. Yeah, there we go. I still want the have to be readable. And then I'll take a picture of where I would use the informal one. So like we click over here. I guess we could also. But the informal version for the potion vendor talking to the skeleton. Okay. Your first thought is a misrepresentation. No, I'm just saying that in general, people wouldn't be able to trust that someone else did not doctor that information. It's like if I showed you bank account balance, I had something like this. It's like, okay, he's probably making that up. Where he took a screenshot of Elon Musk's bank account balance. I wouldn't consider this formal in German. Yeah, I assume that most things in the game are going to be informal. That's my guess. And I think because we rarely refer to the player. Maybe in here we refer to the player somewhere. Yeah, like this. This is a player thing. The quick move menu allows you, the player, to select item destinations. But, and maybe I should be super clear about that. Like, I think some of these say you, but these refer to a character. Yeah. It's a fancy hoodie. I tend to wear this in the afternoon because I get pretty cold after lunch. But yeah, thank you. All right, yeah. So if you have informal versus formal, you should generally use the formal version for dialogues addressing the player, which there are very few. Mostly settings. Button/settings. And the informal version for NPC text, for anything addressing a character in the game. For example, use the formal version telling the player they have a saved game, informal version for the potion emitter talking to the skeleton, and the informal version for skill descriptions where they refer to an adventurer. I think sweatum is the correct pronunciation. Again, this is what I would say at least, but again, I don't know how it feels in French, whether you use tu or vous here. As I did so far and stopped at the first one, that sounded like it should be formal. Okay. Yeah. All right, cool. I'm glad we talked about that. And I'm glad I did this while I was streaming so I could get the nuance here. Okay, is 1 the number of the scenario? So it is, yes, but I feel like there's a follow-up question here. Is there? Like, is this a problem in... Oh, yeah, probably because you don't use the number. Oh, there isn't? Okay. Wow, great. Awesome. Yeah, and I guess if you didn't use the number symbol, you could always just use a different one. All right, let's go find that string nonetheless. And now I can write this stuff in. Do this. What am I looking at? Oh, here we can test this. I can write the explanation and see if this makes it to English. Use a different symbol? Yeah. No, wait, no, I should just put a screenshot here. Where does this even show up? Challenge mode objective details. So up here. Wait a second, what? Title. Difficulty data. What am I missing? Oh, I'm on the wrong, this is the end screen. Yeah. So we got to win. Here it is. And we should take a picture of it when it doesn't say unfinished challenge. So let's go into any of these other ones. There. Well, let's pick one that's more obvious, maybe. Adventuring, sure. Start. Okay, so now we win. And we take a picture of this. And then this, and then just draw a giant arrow. Then save that as a file over here. This will be scenario on end screen. And now add a screenshot. There we go. Upload. Oh, wait, no, that said French. Could not upload screenshot. Fix error. Image is too big. Really? Huh. Yeah, let's shrink it down to like 750. Is it still going to be readable that way? It's a little blurry. Yeah, let's just cut it in half. Why paste and save in Affinity? Because my default shutter location is just for screenshots I intend to keep on my hard drive forever, whereas these I don't want to keep, and I don't want to show those accidentally on screen because there's some private stuff there. So by doing this, it's saving to a location I can show on stream, and I can just delete later. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah. And now, Akazi, thank you. By the way, for anyone who hasn't seen this, let me just push the mic away for a bit. Scala seller. Nice. So yeah, I didn't upload this, but also we're in the wrong place for that, I think. I think I was just uploading it for French. And I want this here. Add screenshot, choose file. Here it is. Upload. All right, so now if we go to French for this, there's got to be a better way to do this stuff. I just haven't learned how to use this program. How am I still in English? Because I'm clicking English. French. Yeah, so now this shows up over here on the right side. Okay, cool. Change your party members or location. Does this change the location of the party members, Alex next to Bob, or the global location? Okay, so let's go find that. Change party members or location. Okay, so I know where this shows up in the game. This part's pretty obvious for me. We do one of these, and then this, and then that, and then it's this button. Oops. There we go. This changes. This can change the which adventurers are in your party or where you're battling, but it does not change the order of party members or it does not change the order of adventurers within the party. Actually, it can do that, but the order doesn't actually matter. How about this? Change your party members refers to changing the composition of your party. Rogue plus mage versus warrior plus cleric. Yeah, I think that's better. Yeah. Okay, so now we go save that one. Change party. And put that here. Change party. Upload. Cool. That tooltip is useless, I think. You think people will just know what this does? My question is only regarding the location. Oh, my bad. Okay. Yeah. I see what you mean. All right, let's change that. Changing the location refers to the place of doing battle, e.g. the forest versus the canyon. Okay, my bad. Yeah. Sorry. I did not realize. Again, like I said, I'm at the edge of comprehension right now for what my brain can handle. It's a wonder I'm even doing any work right now. I guess just delete the screenshot. Yeah. So now how do we add that back in? Like so. Cool. Okay. So we're down to fewer than 30 of these. I got to get going pretty soon. And actually, I haven't taken any breaks. I should probably just get going now. Yeah, I still want to finish these. And then I mentioned this earlier today, but I got the graphics from Quickie Joe for the ending cutscene. And I'm very, very excited to work on that. I don't know if it's the highest priority thing to do, but it's probably going to be the most fun thing to do for a while. So maybe we save that for Friday or something. I don't know. All right, let's write this down. So in the morning, finished coding all of the achievements. We now have 23. And then worked on the translation notes from Hideo. Yeah, man, it's been a pretty productive month. We've gotten a lot done, or at least a lot started. I can't say everything's done. Like, we started localization, we started controller support, we started achievements. Achievements are, I think they're in like a launch ready state. I think we should probably add 2 or 3 more, but I don't think we need to do anything too crazy. Final cutscene we'll probably get done with in the next week or so. Finished bone mode isn't actually super important. We have 10 scenarios right now, and the final 10 scenarios are probably just going to be harder versions of the first 10. As such, I don't think it's really that difficult to do. There's a lot of data entry. Stabilizing and fixing bugs I've been working on. And then, yeah, we got to get to marketing and everything. And I think we're generally on track. Like, I want to launch in March. I wanted to get as much done in December as I could. I do have something coming up in real life that's probably going to cut out some stream days. But I still think we're on track in general. So, yeah, that's, I think, it for me for the stream. I appreciate you all watching. By the way, if you guys haven't tried the demo at all yet, and you don't ever feel like playtesting the game, you should check out the demo. Because if you want to playtest the game, I could potentially set up a session with you or do a video recording or something. But otherwise, the demo's like 20, 30 minutes now. All right, let's go raid somebody. I'll raid Boolean. Okay, so here, if you have the emotes, use some amount of Adam Happy in whatever your message is. If not, doesn't matter. You don't need a raid message. I'm happy we have these emotes now. Thank you all for being here. I'll be back tomorrow. It'll just be a morning stream. And I hope it's more interesting than today was. See ya, everyone.